Welcome to Tots and Teens in Focus. I'm your host, Patricia Trim. Welcome you to another edition of Tots and Teens in Focus. Well, today I have two teenagers, and they're also Tots and Teens. And we will be talking about the women today in society. They will give us information about themselves because they're all business women and women in ministry. So they will tell us more, and you can sit back there, listen, and you will get some advice from our Minister Deidre Van Kunden and Valdez Mackenzie. Both are community leaders and community activists, so they will give you more information of them. And also, we will be endorsing them as Tots and Teens Women of Great Esteem. Because you know, Women's Month is March, and we have to recognize our women in the community. So they will be recognized as Tots and Teens Women of Great Esteem. Once again, welcome to Tots and Teens in Focus. And to my guests, welcome to Tots and Teens in Focus, Minister Deidre Van Kunden and Valdez Mackenzie. I know you are not a tot or a teen, but you are just right. Welcome once again.
Thank you
Thank
for having
you
us
for
here.
having us.
So I'll just ask you to introduce yourself one by one so that you can have. So we start first with Minister Deidre Van Kunden.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. As stated, I'm Minister Deidre Van Kooten. I'm from Bethel Deliverance Gospel Center, located at 397 Rockaway in Brooklyn, right here in Brooklyn.
Thank you, Minister Van Kunden. And we have Valdez.
Yes, hi, I'm Valdez Mackenzie. I am a manager at the Springer Printing Print Shop, and also I am a funeral director slash embalmer. I am also part of the Lions Club, which is a big organization throughout this world.
Thank you, ladies, for giving such information. And you see what type of person that we bring on that will give us more information and educate you about things that you may not know. But first, we will talk about women in society. How do you feel about the women in society today? The women today is in this society's leadership and doing great things. Because years ago, women place was in the home. Now, women place is in the society doing things. How do you feel about that?
Well, basically, growing up as a young kid, I've always seen my grandmother and my aunt did everything. They work, they provided, plus they ran businesses, and they did a lot of things. So to me, it's not something that it's new. However, I see that the young women now, they're more advanced in reference to their education. They're looking for higher learning, and I give them all the support because that's the lacking part for the women. Even if they're in a marriage or with someone, even for the family, sometimes the encouragement you don't get. But for the women that I see in society, I believe that they are definitely doing great things. And I know that after this election, we will have a woman president in the White House.
Yeah. Thank you, Valdez. Now we talk with our minister, and this minister got a voice that she can sing and praise and worship, and I like to hear her. But however, she's going to tell us something more about the women in society and how she feels about women in society.
Women in society, as stated by you earlier, we've come a long way. And as you stated that women way back used to be homemakers. They were known to be at home, taking care of the children, preparing for their husbands. But as Valdez stated, there are some women who have always been in the forefront. My mom, she taught me and my sister the independence of working, defending your family, providing for your family. So women of society, we've come a long way. We're no longer just sitting at home taking care of the husband and the children. Only we can do both. We can be women of society doing the outside job and the housework. You know, education play a great role. We have to instill in our young women the value of education. Finish your schooling. Yes, there are obstacles that life throw our way, and sometimes it gets you down, but pick yourself up, brush your shoes off, and keep it going. Never give up. Never give up on your dreams. It's only over when you're sleeping the death sleep. But once there's life, there's hope. So we of today's society, women, we can do just about anything we put our minds to. The sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. And I agree with you, sis. There's going to be a woman in the White House. There's going to be a woman in the White House.
It's time that women take leadership. We've been always been kept down by the men, like you're not supposed to be there. They don't want to be ruled by a women. But we have to take charge and say it's time for women to take leadership. We had enough of leadership from men, so women can take part. So, um, Minister Deidre, as a woman, as a minister, as a community activist, and a mother, how do you see yourself in these roles?
Well, as a minister, I'll start there. There are a lot of men who would say that women should not be active in the church. They would say that that's not a place for women. But in St. Luke 7, going to the Bible, and verse 37, it spoke about Mary. Mary was a lady that washed Jesus' feet with her tears. And she dried it with her hair, and then she anointed his feet with oil. That was a woman that was doing something for Christ, and he never shunned her. There was the other Mary that when he rose from the dead, he gave her the message to go and tell his disciple that he was risen. He could have chose a man, but he didn't. He chose a woman to deliver the message. So that example is showing us that there is a place for women in the church. And as a minister, I would encourage, women who wants to take that walk. Don't sit on it. Don't sit on your dream. If Christ called you to do a work, you go ahead and you do it. If he give you a message to deliver, don't sit on it like Jonah did, but go and deliver the gospel. As a mother, I would like to be, and I strive to be, an example for my children. I have 5 children, 3 boys, 2 girls. And my youngest, she looked at me a few years back, and she said to me, "Mom, I want to be just like you when I grow up." And to hear your child say that to you, it touched my heart, because it made me to see that I am living an example that she would like to follow. Not everybody would like to say that, or can say that they would like to be like their mother. Some people would like to be better. Some people can't say that they would like to be anything like. But I would just like to live a life that is so Christ-like, that not only in my home, but others outside can see the light in me and be led to Christ.
That is so good, so true. Living a life of Christian life is more honorable than living a life without Christ.
Amen.
So, Valdez, as a businesswoman, as a member of the Lions Club, and in the community working, as a mother, how do you put these artifacts together to be the person that you want to be?
Well, basically, to myself, as I was discussing earlier with Minister Van Kooten, is that sometimes you feel like you're not giving your all to the community. Sometimes you want to give more. And, some people receive you and some don't. But for me personally, as a business person, I always strive to take care of the community. You have to strive to take service is like a big thing. You have to deliver service. Not everybody's going to like your service, but once you can satisfy people, that's what I aim for as a business person. As a mother and a grandmother, I'm a mother of two and a grandmother of three. I am proud of my two sons, and I'm even more proud of my grandchildren, two boys, one girl. So that even tonight, my son begged me to come and babysit. Sorry, son, I couldn't do it. I had to be here. However, I love my grandchildren, and as I grow, I always ask the living Father to let me lay eyes on my grandchildren and my great grand. So for me to see my great grand, that is a fulfillment in my bucket list and so many different lists. As a community worker in this community, in the Brooklyn community, I started out seeing the Lions Club give out bags. Matter of fact, they prepared the bags. That's where I started. And it was supposed to be someone else doing it. And I end up being put in place of the job. So from there, starting the back to school program, I felt that I needed to work with a team in the community. I felt that that part was missing from me. So right away, I jumped in and I started working, putting things together, helping with the Lions Club. And today, 3 years later, I am the first vice president of our Brooklyn Leaders Lions Club. And it didn't get there by just being present, but it get there by you trying to learn more how to be more of a community leader. And that's what Lionism teaches you to do, is to be more of a community leader, not just servicing your relatives and the family that you know, but try to step out of boundaries and help the community and the less fortunate. I try to say they're not less fortunate, but they're just people who need help.
Oh, that's great. That's great about the lions. Although I'm a lion, I'm a runaway lion.
Run back.
I'm a runaway lion. Mr. Deidre, I know that you are a member of Bethel Deliverance Gospel Church.
Right.
Being a member of the church and being a member of the community, what is your focus to see go forward in the community with the church and how we can make things much better for the community?
Well, this is what I'll say. I have a question. This is what I've been asked. It asks, how can the church help? The church is a place of refuge, a place of healing for body, spirit, mind. It's a place of hope. In Psalms 41 and verse 1, it reads, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. In Psalms 34 verse 18, the Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as of contrite spirit. Contrite spirit means remorseful, sorry, regretful, penitent, apologetic spirit. And in St. Matthew 11 and verse 28, it reads, Come unto me, all ye that are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Mm-hmm. So the church is a place where you can go for healing. Healing in terms of if you're spiritually sick, the church is a place that you go for that healing. Spiritual sickness, I would say, like also mental illness. If you're depressed, and I'm not saying that the church is going to give you a pill now, but what I'm saying is if you need that pastor to pray with you, if you need that person to to confide in and just talk to. Sometimes you need to get things off your chest. You can go to the church. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The church is a place of refuge. You can always seek help in the church. As I read in St. Matthew 11 and 28, it says, "Come unto me, all ye that are weary and heavy burdened, and I will give you rest." Just imagine that peace that passeth all understanding when you turn it over to Jesus. See, there are times when we can't turn to our brother or our sister. We can't turn to a friend because you might tell Sister Trim something and she might tell me. You said don't tell her, but she'll tell me. Now, a secret is not a secret anymore once she tells me, because now I'm going to tell my sister. And I'm going to tell my sister, don't tell her that I told you. And then she tells somebody else. But when you take it to Jesus, rest assured that whatever problems you're facing, whatever situation you find yourself in, nobody else is going to hear about it. Sometimes you just need to lock away in that closet. Sometimes you just need to spend time alone. There's a song that said, "There are days I like to be all alone with Christ my Lord. I can tell him of my sorrows all alone." And sometimes when you are away from the distraction and you're just there one-on-one with God, you will get your breakthrough. You will get your breakthrough. So the church is a place where you can find refuge. You can find healing. You can get deliverance. You can get strength. You can be empowered. That's what the church does.
That's what church are there for, to take care of the community, and the community will be with the church. Valdez, I know that you are a member of the Lions, and the Lions is doing a great job, and then you can see all the artifacts on your shirt showing that the Lions.
I try to put the ones that I've earned, as you say.
The Lions. And
yeah.
the Lions is a very big organization worldwide. I don't think it's much people take it here very seriously, like how in other country, if you're a Lions, you're someone great and someone big, and only doctors and people in high positions society could be in the Lions. More here is any person will be in the Lions. But I know back in my country, our country, to be a Lions member, it was very hard to get into the Lions.
Yes.
So now when I get in there, I said, I'm a Lions member.
Yes.
But the thing about it, before the Lions get out now to do different things, because the time that I went in the line, it was just looking after the blind, the dog, the blind, the dog. But now,
yes,
y'all focus are more out in the community, helping people,
right,
helping children, providing, giving gifts to children, and it was not. So what is the difference now? I don't know if you know of that time and this time.
Yeah, well, that time as a young kid, you used to see the Lions sign and the people dressed and so forth. But as a child, I never really took it serious, because you always think, those are for the big folks. But now as I got bigger and I was thrust into that position, I realized that it was always a very good organization. It came a very long way. It started back since in 1917. So I was really, it opened my eye, let's put it that way. And it opened my eye in a way whereas the things that we take for granted, simple things, such as going to the hospital and visiting someone and giving them a gift basket, with a care products, just care products, sometimes a little deodorant, a little perfume, some kind of oil, something. The face when you see the elderly people, when they receive it, the children when you give them the bags, when we do the Christmas Christmas parties, we try to reach out as much. And with the Lions Club, it's also about fundraising. You have to have fun doing what you love to do. And with those funds that you raised, basically that's what it goes back to, is to go back to the community. So for me now being in the Lions Club, it covers hunger, we cover disaster, we cover vision, and so many things. Child diabetes, child cancer. We're in all of those areas raising funds so that we can give children and families the opportunity to a better living. So from then to now, yes, it enhanced based on the needs of the community. So there are many things that we do in the communities that a lot of people don't see. But while we do that, we're actually raising funds so that we can give back to our community.
Okay. Work for your community. Community will work for you.
Amen.
Minister Deidre, what motivated you to become a minister?
If I can be honest, I was running, but you cannot run from God. I was running, but you cannot run from God. And the reason why I said, that I was running, you see, the position of a minister should not be taken lightly. It's a serious role. It's a serious role. And you have to be 100% sold out for Christ. You see, you can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You can't be hot today and cold tomorrow. And you are an example. People look up to you as an example, even more so than when you're just a regular sister in the church. Now the title carries weight. It carries weight. And the thing about it is some people are ordained or they went to school and they become a minister, but they're not ready for that role. And sometimes they fail. And people will point fingers and say, but I thought he was a minister, I thought she was a minister. But see, we have all sinned and come short of the glory of God. And this is what I would say to someone. We're all sinners saved by grace, and salvation is a personal matter. So for me, when I was asked, and I was asked for years before I accepted, I said, I will do the job of a minister. Please don't give me the title, because it was so heavy. It's so heavy. And if I make a mistake, if I slip, I'm going to be in this spotlight. When if I make a mistake before, nobody would be really looking at me like that. But then it keeps me now so much more on my knees. I have to ask God daily. Daily I have to ask God for his guidance. God, show me the way. Teach me how to. Whatever you want me to do, teach me how to do such a thing. So I didn't, it's not something that I asked for. It's something that my pastors over the years, they saw that in me, and they told me that they wanted to ordain me minister. And as I said, I ran from it, but you can only run but so far from God. And I didn't want a whipping, so I just had to yield, and I just accepted.
But you also have your mother who is a minister.
My mom is a minister. My dad is a pastor. I'm a PK, pastor's kid. So I know how heavy that is. I know how heavy that task is. So it's really one I didn't want. I said, I'll do all the work. I'll sing all the songs. I'll remain the choir director as I am. I'll remain the praise and worship leader. But don't give me that title as a minister. But when God ready for you, you have to move. You just have to do it. So it's just a daily walk with God for me. And I'm depending on him for his guidance.
So it's not what you want.
It's not what I
want. It's
want.
what God wants.
At the end of the day, it's what God wants. Yes.
What God wants for you, and God have gifts for each and every one of us. It's only that sometimes we don't know how to open or how to be open and receptive to receive the gifts. I remember Valdez in the church that we all went to. We came in and Sheila said, since you're small, you always like to be doing with, to become a mortician.
Yes.
what motivates you to become a mortician, you know?
Well, to be honest,
You could explain what is a mortician because some people may not know what
Oh.
a mortician is.
well, the motivation came basically, I was following my aunt to work one day, and I was actually looking into careers, and I wanted to be something other than anything. So I dropped my aunt off to work that day, and it was take your daughters to their work. So she's like, "Oh, come on up." So I went upstairs, and when soon as she got out the elevator, one of the nurses came and they ran to her and they tell her code red, or code blue, or whichever code. I think it was code red, with the when somebody dies or something of that nature. And she was like, "Not me. I don't deal with dead people." So once she said that, I was like, and I want to see. And I told her what I wanted to do, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, you can go with the nursing assistant. You can go with her. She'll clean her up and stuff." So I was like, "Yes." So once I got into the room, I basically, it wasn't the best smelling room because we were talking about somebody who died from cancer, and the smell didn't even bother me. It didn't even bother me. So I basically helped the nurses assistant get the person together, went down to the morgue, all these things in the hospital in Manhattan. And from then I stopped right there and I said, "You know what? I think I want to do this. I want to do this." So, but before I do it, I actually went and did my research. So once I did my research and whatever answer I got, I took all of the answer. Some said go here, some said go there, and I just went to both places. And I got my degree, and I went on to basically work for many funeral firms around the area, in the tri-state area also. And I started my own private firm, and then I basically had stopped that because there was a lot going on with me as a woman. The support, as I was mentioning before, once you don't get that support from, it could be emotional, it could be physical, it could be financial, it could be so many things. Once you don't have that, you know, sometimes you do feel depressed and down. So I was in that part. And then I decided to, you know what, Guyana don't have the much embalmers. I'll just do this for Guyana. So now where I'm at now is basically working for a funeral home in Guyana, and also the Ministry of Health in Guyana do call me to have classes with all of the funeral homes in the in Guyana. So right now I am a consultant, a teacher, and also a lead embalmer in Guyana.
You're great. You're great. Oh, we have heard so much, so much. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so afraid of death.
Nothing, it's just the living, only the living.
I'm so afraid of death. So, before we go, Minister Van Kooten, you would like any message that you know that you didn't get to say, or how you will express yourself? Because our thing is about women, today's women in the society, and the great work that you're doing. And as you can see, Valdez is doing something that is, you really got to
I
get
didn't want to
nerve
do
to do it.
anything that
You
anybody else
really
was
got to
doing.
get nerve to do it.
Yeah.
So, what will be your message here to women, today's women for tomorrow, for the society?
Speak life. That's what I'll say. Speak life. I'll just read this that I wrote down. If you speak failure, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
There is power in spoken word. If you speak failure, you're going to fail. There's power in spoken word. Proverbs 18:21 tell us that there's life and death in the power of the tongue. Don't say I can't. Change your vocabulary. I will, or I'll try. You can't fail if you've never tried. And if you fail at something, get up and try again. Do not accept failure. I'll borrow these words from Oprah. You don't get in life what you want. You get what you believe. If you believe I won't make it, you won't. If you believe that I can, you'll get up and you will. And this is what I'm saying to our young women, young people in general. But because this is about women, for Women Month, I'm speaking to not only young women, but women in general. Be persistent. There will be some bumps in the road, but don't give up. Use your fears. I was telling you this earlier.
Yes.
Use your fears and the negative comments, the obstacles that you face to fuel you. The Bible said that we don't have, God has not given us the spirit of fear. He has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And, they said, oh, you should not be fearful. You should not have fear. But I'll tweak it a little bit and say, because we are in the flesh, we do have fear. Mm-hmm. Step out with fear, surround yourself with faith, and use God to guide you. Don't let fear cripple you. Don't let fear cripple you. Step out on fear, but use your faith and God's guide.
Well, Valdez, there's anything that you would like to say before?
I just want to say thank you for having me here. This is an eye-opener for me also. And I thank you for the opportunity. I thank everyone here who basically helped make this opportunity. I think it was nice meeting.
Likewise.
Minister Van Kooten, because, that minister name, I got to be careful. And Sister Patricia, thank you also for reaching out. Everyone, thank you to the entire staff here for looking out for us and to having this show done. And I just want to say to the young women out there, don't let anyone stop your dreams.
Amen.
No one. It could be your children, it could be your husband, it could be your boyfriend, it could be a friend, or anyone. No one should stop your dream. The same fire you started with, keep that fire burning, no matter what. Keep it burning. God bless you all the time. Take care of yourself.
Do not accept failure.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Minister Deidre and Valdez Mackenzie, we are so happy to have you on our show.
Thank you for having me.
We are so happy to hold you as Tots and Teens, women of great esteem. And both women here have great esteem to establish themselves and to share with the community. Your Women of Great Esteem certificate will be done by Assemblywoman Bishop. Okay. So she will be giving me the certifications to give you all. So on behalf of her, I'm just presenting the words from
Thank you.
Assemblywoman Bishop certification of Women of Great Esteem for Tots and Teens.
Thank you.
And to be honored to have you on. Once again, thank you very much for being here.
Thank
and
you
I
for
do
having
appreciate you being here. And I know that our viewers would like what they heard and they will have some encouragement. And as you said, don't give up.
Don't accept failure.
Don't accept failure. So from Tots and Teens, we're telling you, do not accept failure. Go forward and you will see the great things that will happen. So from Tots and Teens, we say goodbye.
Goodbye. God bless.
God bless.